Alright, so there's a lot of us here. We've got parents, teachers, students too. We all have our own unique perspectives on life, our own ideas on what we believe happiness to be. But regardless of our varying thoughts, do you know one thing that we all have in common? We have all had to overcome some sort of barrier or challenge in life. It can be anything, right? For students like me, it can be copying homework from that one friend right before the teacher walks in. We have all done that, right? For me, it's mostly chemistry homework, okay? I won't deny. I know some of the parents here might be saying, hey, that's not a challenge, you're just irresponsible. Listen, I would like to think that I'm a little responsible, though I can already feel my mom disagreeing with that. But really, it's just homework is something straight from hell. You cannot include that anywhere. A lot of things haven't really changed since the last time I stood here. I still hate coffee, I still love reading, and my dancing skills are like your attention span in that one class right after lunch. Non-existent. At this point, it's like my entire batch knows. If it's physics class right after lunch, it's time to sleep. You can't deny it, okay? We all have that one class, whether it's physics or math or anything else. But the one thing that has changed for me though, is that I wrote my first ever dreaded board exam. Oh god. A board exam is like a student's battlefield, right? Now, I won't be lame enough to make my entire speech about the board exam. Because the act of writing the board exam wasn't all that. All I had to do was just go to a room, write for a while, 1 or 2 hours, then I was out. Getting the results wasn't very difficult either, you know. I just had to click on a link, and I wasn't even the one who did that. My parents were. The difficult part was the time between after I wrote my exam and got my results. You know why? Because suddenly every single individual feels like they just have to know what your results end up being, okay? Whether it's your relatives, extended family, the milkman, the plumber, every single person will ask about your results. During my summer holidays, a group of relatives came over. 10 relatives already sounds like a nightmare, yeah? They came inside and all their kids studied in a different board. So they all got their results before me. First question they asked me when they stepped in was, Maria, are you hiding your results from us? What happened to hi or hello? Geez. And then I got this one brilliant request from one of my relatives, you know. They asked if I could send my board exam results on the family group chat. WhatsApp family group chats. Our moms love them. We see them texting there every single day. But we hate them, okay, even if we don't tell it outright. This is where everything important goes for an Indian family. Whether it's the fakest news known to mankind or the cringiest memes ever. I can see some of the kids here agreeing with it, okay? You all know what memes I'm talking about. And even the board exam result of some distant relatives' kids. It all goes there. But that's the thing with people, you know. Regardless of whatever challenge or barrier you're trying to overcome, they will only notice your results, never your hard work or your efforts. You know, if you do something well, they just say, oh yeah, she's doing fine, she's doing great. But if you mess up, people will pounce upon you like little vultures. They will act as if they know exactly where you went wrong, how you could have avoided it. They will act as if they're experts on the very matter that you somehow ended up missing. Society, clearly, has a lot to say about how to overcome a challenge or a barrier. I mean, you have an entire event being based off of this, right? Clearly. Some people like to say that it is all about self-love. We've all heard self-love, right? We've heard people talk about it also. When you look in a mirror, you should feel proud of yourself, feel confident, you're ready to face anything. It sounds good in theory, but come on. Have we felt good about ourselves every day? Absolutely not. We have all had objectively bad days. And on those days, we can hardly care about feeling good about ourselves. Others like to say that it's all about working hard. You know, never losing focus of your goals. Always staying on track. But there is this one thing, you know, all work and no play is no fun. You can't work hard all the time. And anyone here who says that they haven't had a cheat day at least once is a liar. Don't lie here. So, is there an ethic to breaking a barrier? If there is one, what is it? It would make our lives so much easier, no? Well, I say there is no ethic. You can't really define it. It's a myth, a scam. I know, it sounds insane. You have an event here called Ethics of Breaking Barriers, and I'm saying it doesn't exist. But I promise I'll try to make it make sense, okay? At least a little bit. All of my classmates, and I'm sure some of the students here who have gathered also, they all have their own unique aspirations in life, right? For the Indian fans, they obviously will be expecting doctor or engineer, right? Totally. So they'll be expecting a doctor or engineer, or some want to be something special like a fashion designer. Some want to do nothing at all and just be rich at the same time, which I can't blame them. Okay, I'd also want that. But all of these are their own unique paths to life. They all have their own goals, challenges, obstructions, all that. Because everyone here, they all have their own definition on what success means, right? You can't fit all of this into one ethic, into one path. You can't put it all in one box. But there is this one thing that is absolutely detrimental to overcoming any sort of barrier or challenge in life. It's a phase. You might have gone through it. I went through it myself. How many of you all are football fans? Just a show of hands. Okay, we have a lot. Nice. So then you all must know Messi or Ronaldo, right? Yeah, Messi fans, Ronaldo fans, all that. So I'm sure like the parents here, especially the ones of young kids, they know that little children can be super dramatic about the smallest stuff. Back when I was in grade 4, the kids there was super dramatic about football, specifically Messi or Ronaldo. Now back then in grade 4, I had no idea who Messi or Ronaldo was. I didn't even know the M in Messi. But still, entire friend groups were being allocated based on this. This one boy came up to me and he asked a simple question. Messi or Ronaldo? Now obviously, I didn't want to sound weird and say I didn't know those people. I knew for a fact that boy liked Ronaldo. So I said, Ronaldo. A sweet lie. We have all done it. It's like when that one relative comes up to us, in those family gatherings, and they'll say, hey, I held you when you were a baby. I walked with you when you were a toddler. You remember me, right? How many of us have faced this? Show of hands, come on. Yeah, see? It's literally a traumatic event at this point. And then we just say, oh yeah, I know you, yeah. It's a sweet lie. We have all done it. Nothing to be ashamed about that. But there is this one rule when it comes to life. The number one rule in the rule book of life. If you're going to lie, for God's sake, at least stick to it. You know what I did? After that, another girl asked me the same question, Messi or Ronaldo? I knew that girl liked Messi, so I said Messi. Within the span of 10 minutes. Yeah, I don't think my class ever trusted my opinions on football or any sport after that. I can't blame them. By now, if you haven't figured out who or what I'm talking about, it's a type of person. You might know this type of person. They could be your friend, your family member, your co-worker, or maybe even you could be this sort of person. I don't know. But if you don't know this type of person, please welcome them to the People Pleasers Club. That's right, People Pleasers. We love them, we hate them, whatever you feel about them, they do exist. These are the sorts of people who will laugh at any sort of joke, even if it makes fun of them, just so others feel happy, right? But life has a way of giving you a wake-up call. I had mine a few years ago. We all played games in our class, right? Everyone must have done it. There was this one game in my class where you had to go and pick up a chit. That chit would contain a person's name. One person would just have to say one identifiable moment of that person, the name, that's it. Someone ended up getting the chit with my name. You know what they said? They stared at it for a few minutes and they had no idea what to even say. And then finally they just said, oh yeah, she's shy, she's quiet. I mean, am I really giving you shy and quiet vibes right now? I don't think so. I wanted to blend in so badly. I wanted everyone to like me. But at that point, when not even one person could give a single moment about me, I felt like a piece of furniture, maybe one of those chairs you're sitting on, or maybe even less than that. You see, when you're constantly changing parts of yourself, or your opinions, your thoughts, your feelings, just for one thing, other people's validation, one question arises. It's a question that we would have all faced at any moment in life. Whether you're a 12th grader or 11th or anything, you would have faced it. Who are you? What do you stand for? If you do not have the guts to stand up for what you believe in, for what you think is right, then there is no way you are overcoming any sort of barrier or challenge in life. Today, throughout this event, you will have many people come up here and they will all list like a various set of things. Some people will say it's about reading, others will say it's about discipline, some will say it's about working hard. But all of that is just little bits of motivation. That's it. It will last only for a few minutes maybe. If you really want to overcome something, what you need is that determination within yourself. That's all. Nothing else, no big fancy words, nothing like that at all. I read a philosophy recently. It said that the world is like an egg. I know it sounds strange, right? I don't even like eggs, but apparently, to overcome a challenge or to truly experience the world and what life has to offer, you first have to break past that eggshell. That eggshell can be anything that's holding you back, your fears, maybe you're a people pleaser, maybe you're something else. But that is unique to each and every one of us. We cannot define it by one ethic. You can't say what's the best ethic. It's all within yourself. At the end of the day, when you truly want something in life, you are going to have to fight tooth and nail for it. The world, it's morally grey. It's not shades of black and white. You cannot define it. But you can fight for what you want with all that you have. That is all the ethic you need. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, when you are on your path to life, you might find your own ethic, something that suits you. And you could end up inspiring someone else.